Jadon Sancho. In today's video, we will be talking about why Enzo Maresca wanted him and why this makes sense for Chelsea. And yes, I do understand Chelsea have multiple wingers that have a massive depth in their squad. But that being said, today's video, we will talk about why Sancho makes sense. Now, first off, Sancho does like to play out on the left wing, but he is more than capable of switching sides and playing on that right side. This by itself actually really helps Chelsea out because we now actually have the capability of overloading a side with two wingers. Now, again, I'm not going to say we're going to have all these players over here at one point, but what can happen is that Sancho can easily drift over this way, and therefore, again, allow Palmer to go out here. Madueke can shift over, even Jackson can shift forward, and Palmer can move up as well. And this does give us the capability of, again, having different tactics with this player. On top of that, because he is able to switch sides, if he's having a good game and say the defense is actually really good at stopping Madueke, Neto, who's ever out on the pitch, we then can switch sides for these players and then hit them slightly different, because this does get a little bit more tricky when defenders are getting so used to playing against someone and then you throw a different player at them, especially Jadon Sancho, who's very good with his feet. This does give Enzo Maresca a little bit of versatility without actually making a sub, which is actually a big impact when it comes to game management and actually trying to win games. Now, the next thing we need to look out is how Enzo Maresca likes to play with his style. Now, we all know that he does. Just a quick break from the tactics. I do want to talk about the book I've recently written, Dominate the Pitch, which can help any player become a better player. The secret formula. If you have Kindle, this is totally free. Otherwise, it is $15.99. I greatly appreciate if you do check it out. It does help support this channel. He does like to have his wingers out wide, which works out perfectly for Sancho because this is what he was doing at Dortmund. This is what they were trying to incorporate in Manchester United. Yes, it did not work there, but that's a whole different story. But because he likes to stay out wide, this again gives him the creativity that he likes to have and having a one-on-one with the defender and then driving towards goal. Because of this, he can use his skill work, get around these players, and then play the ball in here, or again, if he has the opportunity to take a shot and score goals for Chelsea. The reason why Enzo Maresca likes having our wingers so out wide is because this allows us to play the balls across here, but it also opens up the defense because as defenders, they have to keep shifting depending on where they're at. So again, if we move the ball this way, they do have to shift over to Madueke. And again, if we shift it back over this way, they have to keep shifting. This will constantly keep the defense moving all sorts of places and actually disrupting their low block, their defensive line, and therefore, again, can create chances, especially with someone like Palmer, who can easily ping a ball and play a ball through to Jackson, or again, see these runs coming from Madueke or Sancho, or even any of our other players who will be coming up and overlapping. Those are just a few simple things that, again, he does offer to this team. On top of that, this obviously gives us more depth because we all know we have multiple players in this position because we could put Neto in that position, or again, we could even switch them around for the most part. But because of all the games that we have currently going on, this again makes total sense for Chelsea. And Sancho still has a point to prove. Very young. Yes, I understand he's in his mid-20s now compared to some of these other guys at this team, but still, he is more than capable. We saw this last year at Dortmund. He was able to take a team and be with them and go all the way to the Champions League final. Obviously, they fell short in that game, but still, Sancho has a lot to prove, and I do think there is still a lot left in his tank. I don't think Manchester United was a great fit for him. Not just him, but multiple other players we've seen struggle at that club. I do believe he does understand what Enzo Maresca wants to do at Chelsea, and this is actually going to be a very good system for him to thrive once again and show his incredible ability that he has. All he needs is more game time to get adapted to this squad, and we will start seeing the player that we've seen before at Bay. And therefore, again, if that is the case, Chelsea definitely got a player well worth his value. So, if you enjoyed this video, I greatly appreciate you. Do hit the like button, subscribe down below, and also check out the book that's in my link here, Dominate the Pitch. It's a book I wrote. I think you'll thoroughly enjoy, especially if you're trying to train to become a better player.